Paladins closed beta has been out for a while, and people have been ranting and raving over how it's a huge, big, massive copy of Overwatch, and that people should be trying to cut this game down because it's an exact copy of a game that already exists. And I think that's completely unprecedented. It isn't like there's a spiritual character who attacks you with hand signs and heals other characters, or a bow-based character, or a big massive character with a shield, a dash, and a forward blast. Oh, shit. Anyway, all sarcastic jokes aside, there are some similarities between Paladins and Overwatch. To be completely honest, there's a lot of similarities, and to be fair, it does make sense about the way it's going that people would make the comparisons, especially when they see how similar even the characters look and how they present themselves. Some of them do seem a bit too close. Like, granted, the idea of a bow-based character in a game was not invented by Overwatch, not by a long shot. But as well as that, there's been plenty of games that have had pistol-based characters, that have had mech-based characters like Titanfall. There's no shortage of games that Overwatch probably took inspiration from when they were creating this game. However, the only problem I have with defending Paladins is that there's a few too many of them in the same game. Like, if they put in like 3 or 4 of them, fair enough, but there's a lot of characters that have very similar abilities to Overwatch, so I kind of find it hard to believe that they took zero inspiration from Overwatch. But I can't fault them completely, mainly because Overwatch at the end of the day is a copy of TF2. It's not a copy, but it was heavily inspired by it. I mean, offensive, defensive, support-based classes used in a game, TF2 did it. Personalized characters and shorts based on said characters, TF2 did it. I mean, people act like Overwatch is the alpha and omega of hero-based shooter, mainly because it's Blizzard. A bit like how people act like Hearthstone is the alpha and omega of digital card games, which is why they look down upon Hex and other card games that have been out more recently, because they say it's a Hearthstone copy. Not everything Blizzard makes is absolutely perfect. By the way, please fix Bastion, please, thanks. Granted, Overwatch is an amazing game. It's a fantastic game, and so is Paladins. People seem so adamant to cut one game down because of the other. The way I see it from forums is there's two sides. There's one side that claims that Paladins is a straight up Overwatch copy and that they should cut down Paladins because Overwatch exists. And there's another side who want to cut down Overwatch because Paladins exists because of the people who play Overwatch and because of Overwatch being a copy of TF2. To be honest, I think these people are both being fucking idiots. If you want to play both, play both. Paladins is completely free. Overwatch costs 40 quid. You could buy Overwatch and then get Paladins. You could get both if you wanted to. It's not a big deal. I don't know why people seem to take sides on this so adamantly. You really do not need to take sides. At the end of the day, both Blizzard and Hi-Rez are great companies. There's a lot of work for the PC, and even Hi-Rez have a great forum-based community who you could really get involved with if you wanted to. And to be honest, I think both of these games will have pretty okay competitive scenes. Granted, Overwatch will probably have a much bigger competitive scene, not because it's better, but because it's Blizzard, and Blizzard make a game of a person shitting and it will be an esport. But in saying that, both games are good, and both games are well made and fun to play. So stop cutting down one game or the other, because you really don't need to. I didn't think I needed to make this short video, but there's so many forums trying to complain and cut down one or the other, and it's just childish. I mean, people do it all the time, but to me it's just extremely juvenile. And, oh, by the way, just to finish off, as a side note, stop comparing Battleborn to these two games. Granted, Battleborn is a hero-based shooter with inverted commas, but if you actually play it, you realize it's basically Borderlands. Anybody who thinks that Battleborn is the same thing as Overwatch hasn't played both Battleborn and Overwatch, more so Battleborn, because Battleborn is PvE based shooter with a bunch of different heroes. It's basically Borderlands with a different lore and a different set of characters. That's what it is. So I don't really see why people compare it to Overwatch so heavily. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to get at. I didn't think I needed to make a video about such a problem, but people seem so adamant to cut down hero-based shooters, because apparently this is the year of hero-based shooters because there's so many coming out. What I gotta say to you is, if you don't want to play both, play one. Both of them were free at one point. Both of them you can go into and you can take a look at and you can see which one you like more. Or if you don't want to do that, play both, because really there are no limitations. Gaming does not have a way to block you from another game. I don't know why people seem so adamant to do that. If you prefer relatively simplistic shooting with really fun and rewarding gameplay, play Overwatch. If you prefer a bit more complicated shooting where you're forced, a bit like a MOBA, to play a specific character and you get to ride around on a horse like a baller, like Paladins. By the way, as a last thing, to people who are making their arguments in the comments about Overwatch being a TF2 clone or vice versa, 1, I acknowledge that in the video, and 2, you're probably too belligerent to actually watch the entire video without voicing your opinion in the comments. I'll see you again next time, and have a nice day.